Can you hear me?
Hi, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Summit. God bless Nigeria. Our anchor for today is Susan, and I'm assisting. So when Susan joins, we will continue. So today we're going to be talking about um, the power of the tongue and the words that we speak. With us today is Gift. Gift, can you just say something just to introduce yourself?
Hello, everybody. My name is Gift for short, but my full name is Ibakivie Okemute Gift, and I'm a banker in one of the leading banks in Nigeria, a relationship manager actually. And it's my hope that with this platform, we will be able to build a better mindset around Nigerians, both in Nigeria and diaspora.
Thank you very much, Gift. So next on the lineup is Elizabeth. So Elizabeth, say hi to everyone and introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Elizabeth and I'm a banker and an entrepreneur, and this is God Bless Nigeria, and I hope that after this session everyone will be blessed and will be able to change the initiative and change the mindset of Nigeria. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Elizabeth. My name is Harris. I'm a medical doctor, and I'm the co-anchor for this session. So, just to also let you know that this program is sponsored by CGI House of Praise in Lekki, Lagos, Nigeria. So, on to the topic, we are talking about power of the tongue in nation building. So, what is the impact of the things we say about Nigeria with regards to the progress of the country and how it goes? So I'll start with you, Elizabeth. Now, what do you think? Um, okay, before I get to you, I would address a question regarding the power of the tongue, for example. So it is generally said that um, you know what you say about your country matters, but some people think that okay, what you say does not correlate with what you do. So personally, my opinion on that is that there is a link between what you say concerning anything and the outcome of it. And with regards to nation building, I think that what we say about Nigeria is powerful, and what we do as well is also powerful. A clear example, if I go from scriptures, is well, when we talk about the 12 spies, when Moses sent 12 spies to check out the land of Canaan, and 10 people came and said good the things that they observed and said the place is indeed a land flowing with milk and honey. And then they said that there are a lot of giants, and they saw themselves as grasshoppers in the sight of those giants. It's important to note that these people were leaders, these people were people of influence. So when they came back and they gave their reports, because they said that these people were very big and that the nation of Israel was not strong enough to contend with the Canaanites, then it caused fear, it caused rancor in the land, and people started talking to Moses and saying that they want to go back to Egypt, that the Lord has brought them here there to die. So that shows the influence of what is said concerning the capacity and concerning the ability of a certain people and a certain nation. But then from the scriptures, we see that Joshua and Caleb did not agree. Caleb stood up in the midst of people and said, no, that this land is able, we are able to take this land. We're able to take the land of Canaan. That yes, there are giants there, but they cannot defeat us. So that shows the attitude of someone who is able to speak positively in spite of, whatever the other people are saying that might be negative. So it goes to show two things, that what you say can significantly affect the perspective of people, of themselves, especially when you are in a position of authority. And it can also affect the perspective of other people concerning your nation. Okay, so um, so that's that. Then I'll move to the question to you, Elizabeth. So, as a nation in Nigeria, where do you think we started getting it wrong? Is it from what we said or what we did? Or yeah, what do you think?
Okay. So first of all, what we started getting it wrong as a nation is the mindset, the initiative that what we say matters as much as what we do. Now, for me to be able to do anything, I would have processed the thought in my mind first, maybe said it out, and then I will do it. Right? Where we got it wrong is that we failed to understand from the beginning that first of all we have the mind of Christ. Now, in the beginning, the word when God created the world, it was done by words, right? And it was what God said. And then the icing on the cake was that God now created us in his own image. It means that we talk like him, we act like him, we do everything like him. So because whatever we say is a reflection of what God would say. It means that whatever we say matters a lot. So we got it wrong from the beginning, not knowing that what we say is important as what God would say. And that will also reflect in what we do. So when we understand that we are created in his image and in his likeness, and then what we say matters a lot. Because the Bible says the power of life and death is in the tongue. We can say, we can curse using our mouth. We can also bring to life using our mouth. So having that understanding that whatever we say matters a lot, and not knowing that what we say can in turn influence whatever happens to the country, whatever happens in Nigeria. That major understanding is where we got it wrong in the beginning. Like, when we start complaining, oh, this country is this country is bad, this country is this and that. And then we fail to understand that if it's from the moment we start saying good things about the country, from the moment we start saying this country is going to progress, this country is prosperous, the people in this country are good, and so on and so forth. That is where we fail to understand that what we say matters a lot. It is always a build-up of what we say, what is in our mind, and then in turn what we do. So where we get it wrong is not just what we say, but in turn what we do, what we did, or what we do at the end of the day.
Okay, so in summary, people failing to realize that there is power in what they say,
Mm.
and just talking carelessly is, it is significant enough to negatively affect the nation. Thank you. So, Gift, I will get to you now. So we've established the fact that it's important to be aware of the things that we say and not just talk carelessly about the country. So, what do you think? If we start to speak positively as a nation and do not change our actions, like we don't do anything right, will anything change? We keep saying something positive, but our attitude do not change, like our actions do not change. Will things change just by the things we say?
Okay. First, I'd like to start with an illustration I heard some time ago. It was the story about a farmer who planted two seeds of bean in different, the same solution, the same content in both of them. But For one in the morning, he wakes up and he blesses that thing and he says you will prosper, you will do well, you will flourish. Then for the other one, he curses it, just the same way Jesus spoke to the fig tree and said, "You will not bear fruit." And irrespective of what the farmer did to both of them, one was doing well, the one which he was praying for was doing well, and the one he cursed was doing worse day by day till he died. So that being said, I have a notion and I believe that you cannot think without doing,
Yeah.
because out of the abundance of the heart a man speaks. And usually when you speak, you begin to act out those things subconsciously. So saying that we are going to think things without doing them, I do not think it will follow. Because the moment we start to engrave those positive thoughts in our heart, in our heads consistently, subconsciously we will begin to do the right things. I think the problem is that we are not consciously filling our heads with the right things. Rather, we are constantly being bombarded both on the internet, social media, on television, on radio. We are constantly being bombarded by the negatives. Everybody sees the negative. It is the negatives that make the headlines. It is the negatives that make the news. So naturally, we will continue to do the wrong things because that is all we've been wired for. So if we begin to change the narrative, I believe we are going to consistently or gradually begin to do the right thing as a nation. So us thinking and doing, they are not mutually exclusive. They can work hand in hand, or rather they work hand in hand. It is what you think that we would end up doing as a nation.
Okay, so to kind of summarize what you said, um, so there is a connection between the words we say and our
Yes,
actions, right? And
yes,
if we keep saying positive things and do not do the right thing, it's like it's kind of like an imbalance, right?
yes, it is. But because you are consciously saying the right thing,
Mhm.
the tendency that you keep doing the wrong thing
Yes.
over time reduces. So with
Okay.
time, you begin to see that your actions begin to correspond with what you are saying.
Mm.
Okay. So the point is just start saying the right things initially,
Yeah.
because you're
If
so
it's wrong,
used
yeah,
to doing things that are wrong, you might make some few mistakes, but the more you keep at it, your
yeah,
actions naturally would coincide with
yeah,
words. Okay, so
yeah,
the take home is that in as much as we want to say positive things, we should also work on our actions and our attitudes to make sure that they coincide with the things that we say.
with those
And
things
then
we say, yeah,
you touched on the next point as well, which is about, is there a connection between the things that goes on in our heart, in our mind, and the things that we say? And like you said, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speak, and it is what you perceive in your heart that definitely you will voice out, right? Okay,
yeah,
so yeah, so that and that's true, because if you do not think about something before we say something, we have to process it in our mind, right? That's the ideal thing, or the civil or the natural thing to do. Before you make a comment, you should think about the impact of what you're going to say. And it is basically what you feel and what your perception or perspective is that you tend to voice out. And
Yeah.
so what some people fail to realize at times is that um, what they say is a reflection of what they think. And then when they miss that, and people start to see them or address them based on the things they say, some people defend themselves and say, "Oh, I didn't mean it. It's not really what I have in mind. Or they start to retract their statement. But people need to understand that what people hear you say or see you say is a reflection of your heart. So if your heart is pure and your heart is positive, it should show in the things that you say. I'll hand over to Susan to continue with the anchoring.
Okay, that was awesome, Dr. Harris. So what about now? Okay, I'll be asking you, Mr. Gift, if actually over the time, over the years, we have gotten to where we are by what we said. So what do we say now, or what do we say today to get to where we should be in the times to come? So, Mr. Gift, what do you have to say about that?
Okay. First, I think we should keep saying God bless Nigeria.
Okay.
The average American, irrespective of his religion, irrespective of where he's from, his background, he says God bless America.
Yeah.
And from the Rockefeller times, even down to Obama, even down to Trump now, we see it consistent. Even if your government is not consistent, but that has been a consistency across party lines.
Yeah.
So what we should say as a country is those things that would uplift us. Okay, we need to tell ourselves that our land is green. Okay, we
Okay.
need to tell ourselves that we have the best minds in the world. We need to tell ourselves that we have professionals who can stand in the same space with any professional in the world and their voices will be heard. We need to tell ourselves that we have one of the best entertainment industries in the world. We need to tell ourselves that we are not chained down by our religious biases. We are not chained down by our political biases. We are not chained down by our educational biases. We need to tell ourselves these things because whatever the Bible says that whatever is good, whatever is pleasant, dwell on those things. That is what we need to do. We need to, as much as possible, begin to cut down on the narratives that pull us down as a nation, especially now that if anything, this period has shown us that we have a strong voice. The internet, we are strongly active on Instagram, we are strongly active on Facebook, we are strongly active on Twitter, and every time we type something, every time we do a video, every time we comment on something, we are either bringing down or uplifting Nigeria. So it's a conscious thing that we need to do. We need to tell ourselves all that would build us up as a nation. So I think those are what we should be telling ourselves.
Oh, great, great. And the truth is, we'll be where we want to be if only we would channel our words in the direction of the things we want to see in our nation.
Yeah.
And every country, okay, that is where it is today, had positive confessions they kept saying. And Nigeria too should do this. If we join the crowd to always criticize, to always condemn, to always speak wrongly, we'll keep seeing the things that we say. All right, so Mrs. Elizabeth, so this question is for you. So now folks say, okay, I did not say Nigeria is this, Nigeria is that. I only typed it. So what do we say about the use of social media? Are we just supposed to just write anything, or is there really a difference between what we say and what we type? Are we in danger with what we say, or as much as we're in there with what we type? So please, over to you. Just tell us quickly.
Okay, first of all, I'd like to establish the fact that there's actually no difference in what you say and what you type. It's like a chain where, first of all, it comes from your heart, it comes from
Okay.
your mindset, then it goes to your heart. From there, you speak it. And then most of the time, we find ourselves that, what I want to say, maybe it's just my neighbor that will be able to hear. I want the whole world to hear, and then you type it. So whatever you say is a reflection of what is in your heart, and what you say is what you type is in turn a reflection of what is meant to come out of your mouth, right? As I'm typing, I'm imagining I'm saying it out. So there's no difference between what you type and what you say. And what we type majorly, of course, social media, and we know that the world has gone global to a very large extent. And if there is any tool that we are trying to maximize these days, is the power of social media. And the more we start maximizing that, to start typing good things about Nigeria, the better for the country.
Okay.
So there is no difference between what you say and what you type. It's totally the same thing, because it's what you type that comes. Today, we've seen that people are just throwing words recklessly, and what you say, we say there's a power in the tongue. There's also a power in there's also so much power in what you write. So there's no difference in what to say. And we need, as we're trying to change the mindset, as we're trying to change the narrative, one major tool we can use is social media. We have to start getting conscious of what we say, what we type online, because it goes a long way. Now, looking at the way the world in general sees Nigeria, people are not coming into Nigeria to see what is going on, to see the good part, to see the flourishing country, to see all the amazing things we have, all the amazing people we have in Nigeria. The only thing they hold on to is social media. And the more we change the narrative, the more we change the perspective with the things we say online, the more the country begins to grow, the more things begin to change, the more we begin to see a better reflection of the country. So there's outrightly no difference between what we type and what we say. It's basically what we want to say that we type online.
Great. Wow, that's awesome. So that means we're not just at liberty to just write anything on social media. The world is reading, the world is looking at Nigeria through the lens of the things we write. So we don't just out of disappointment or whatever, just say anything. If we're going to have a great country, then we must invest in our words. We must invest in the things we type, because people feel, okay, I just typed it. The truth is, whatever it is that you wrote is a reflection of your heart. So we must take caution and be very careful with the things that we say and the things that we type. Okay, Dr. Harry, in just 1 or 2 minutes, can you just add to the things Ms. Elizabeth said?
Yeah, I would actually like to comment on the last two questions as well, like add something to what Gift said as well, as in regards to what do we need to do. When Dora Akunyili was Minister of Information, yeah, there was this slogan that she was trying to push: Nigeria, good people, great nation. And that was with the backdrop of all the things that people were saying negatively, or people knew negatively about Nigeria. But as it kept going on, we could see that it was working. It was changing perspectives gradually. And it's something that, that buttresses the fact that we need to consciously project the things that are positive about Nigeria. Why do people like to go to the US or go to the UK? Because we watch American movies. We see things on TV. They show all the good things and the nice things. We're like, oh, wow, this is a great place to be. All right. It doesn't mean that there are no negative things there that, people still talk about. But what is projected to the outside world is the things that are attractive. And there are things about Nigeria that we don't even know about because it is not been projected well enough. There are great things. There are beautiful things. There are beautiful landmarks about Nigeria. The Nigerians are good people. Nigerian are the core. At the core, every Nigerian is an industrious person, is a hardworking person, intelligent person. So that's why wherever Nigerians go in the part of the world, they always excel and they always come out at the top. So it's important that we project those good things and those positive things through the various means that we can. So there's movies, there is the news. If we are granted interviews by people from other places, or if we are talking to people from other parts of the world, it's important that we also highlight the great things about Nigeria. And then talking about social media, everybody's on social media today. You have people who follow you from everywhere. So if the things that you are projecting on your page does not show the positivity of the nation, um, and then you go back to say, "Oh, I just typed it." That doesn't sound right. Okay, so it's
Yeah,
important
true.
that you are aware or conscious that the things that you project, the things that you show, or the things that even the things you forward on WhatsApp, it's a reflection of the things that you believe in. So when you ask yourself, okay, whatever I'm going to say, whatever I'm going to type, whatever I'm going to share or forward, what is my intention of doing this? All right. What's my
Okay.
intention? What am I trying to pass across? What message am I trying to portray? If it's not in line with the core of what you believe, then you cannot deny it when somebody says that, oh, okay, this is what you mean, because that is what you have projected. So we have to be conscious of the things that we forward and ask ourselves, what am I trying to get out? Does this ultimately build the nation? Does this ultimately improve or make the person I'm sharing this to a better person or a better citizen? Okay, and that's something that we have to be aware of.
Wow, that's great. So it means we don't just, these days we see people just forward broadcast messages of different sorts, and we need to pay attention to the things we write. Yes, very, very, very key, and any means at all that we have to always project Nigeria in the right light, we need to maximize it, and let people know that, okay, Nigeria is not just another country, but a place where things are working. I must always say this every time, that things are working in Nigeria, whether we see it or not, whether we like what we're seeing or not. We keep, the confession of things are working. Okay, so before we continue, I just want to make this quick reminder that this initiative is a brainchild of CGMI, House of Praise, Lekki, Lagos. And the God Bless Nigeria show is one show that, we're trying to project to people that Nigeria is a blessed country, and we want to ensure that all that we say, all that we do, is in line with what we believe about the country. So as we begin to round off, I want our panelists to begin to give their parting shots. What would you say as you round off to those that are watching both in Nigeria and in diaspora? What should we say about Nigeria? So over to you, Mr. Gifts. So tell us quickly, what should we say about the country Nigeria, even as we part of.
All right. I'd like us to remember that we are a great nation. We are an amazing people. We have all the natural resources in the world, everything. There's nothing you're looking for. There's no view you are looking for. There is no resource you're looking for. There is
Yeah.
no vacation you want to take out of Nigeria that you cannot take in Nigeria. We're a blessed people, and as much as possible, even when, yeah, we're a funny set too. We are very funny, even in times of desperation, and when we do not have anything to make us laugh, we still find a way to make ourselves happy. So I'll just say, God bless Nigeria, God bless our president, God bless everyone who still believes in the dream called Nigeria. And for those who are losing faith, I pray that you find a reason to keep the faith.
Yeah, awesome, awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Gift. All right, so Mrs. Elizabeth, so your parting short to the people listening to us. Okay, it seems their mic is mute.
Sorry.
Mrs. Elizabeth.
We already established the fact that there's no difference between what we say and what we type. So the major example, and a major example is for us to know that there's no difference between the prayer I pray to you in words and what I type. If I type prayers, it's still going to be answered. So it's just an example for us to know that there is no difference. Also, when we speak these words, we should understand, we should be aware and be conscious to ensure that we do not pollute those words with our thoughts. Because if we are saying something else and what is in our head or our mind or what we are thinking about is different, then we kind of disrupt the whole thing. So what we say should be in line with our thoughts, with the things we think in our mind. also. And majorly, we should ask ourselves, what would Jesus do? We are created in the image of Christ, and we should act like Christ, talk like Christ, and begin to say good words, good things about Nigeria. The land will flourish and every good thing. And this is what the world is going to see and celebrate the country in return. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so Dr. Aris, your part in short.
Okay, I would say that Nigerians, wherever you are in the world, you are a unique breed. And know that for yourself and be the Nigerian that you want the world to see. And because um, you're the first example that people will see of who Nigeria is. And so be that example and show it in the things that you say and the things that you portray.
Beautiful, beautiful. So as we cut the cotton, like we said, there is a connection between your heart and the things that you say. So we cannot justify your words when your heart is wrong. Neither can we also justify your heart when your words are wrong too. So we pay attention to the things that we say, the things that we type, how we project the country on social media is very, very important. What we type, what we tell people, what we pass across, information, and all of that. Nigeria is working, and it will work in our very eyes. So once again, thank you so much for tuning in, for joining the God Bless Nigeria show, wherever you're watching, all over the world. Thank you, CGMI, House of Praise, Lekki, Lagos, for this opportunity. And thank you so much, my amazing panelists, for this awesome time. It was great talking to you, Dr. Harris, Mrs. Elizabeth, and Mr. Gift. We come your way again. Like the same station, same time, and God bless you. So together, can we say God bless Nigeria?
God
God
bless.
bless
God bless
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Thank you so much, and stay safe.